Today's video is going to look at creating a custom title block. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to go and actually start a new family and pull up our family templates. In our family templates you're going to notice that there's a folder actually designated for title blocks. So once we open that up, we can determine the size title block that we want. We'll go with the standard D size and we'll open that up. So what we have here now is, you will see if we select one of these lines, that it's actually set at 24 by 36, which is the actual paper size. So this rectangle box that you see here is your actual piece of paper that's your title block is going to print on. So let's say, for example, around these three sides we want our border to be a 1/2 inch. So what we can do is we can simply come over to our offset tab, we can select 1/2 inch, and we can simply click on these three lines. Let's say we want our staple side to be 1 inch. We'll say 1 inch, and we'll offset that one. Now what we're going to do is come around here and trim our corners. Alright. So now what we have is everything that's inside this border is our actual title block, and everything within there is going to be our views and all that. So now we have to determine if our information is going to go along this side of our title block. We have to start off with, let's say, a width of what we want our information border to be. Let's start off with 3 inches. And if you have an existing CAD file for a title block, you can easily bring that CAD file in by coming into Insert, and you can say Import CAD. And what you can do is you can basically take your CAD title block and set it right above this, or you could set it right on top of it, and you could basically use those CAD lines as your basis for creating or tracing over with your Revit lines. So let's say this is going to be our information border. This is where we're going to put our company logo, we're going to put any kind of revision information, we're going to put our sheet numbers, names, project information, and so on. Okay, so we're going to start off in this bottom right corner, and we're going to start and basically build our way up the sheet. So the bottom right corner is going to contain your sheet number. So if you go to your tab, your home tab, you're going to click on these labels. And we're simply going to place the label there, and what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to select what kind of category we want to use. And we said we're going to look at the sheet number. So let's select sheet number, we'll add it to our list, and we'll simply say OK. So as you can see here, we've added a sheet number to this. We can stretch this box, and what these boxes are is that anything that fills up this box. So for example, if you have a very long, this was, let's say, our sheet name versus our sheet number, and the name went beyond this box, once it's in our project, it'll drop down to the next line. Okay, so this box basically defines your perimeter of where your text will fit. Alright, so in this case we actually want to make our label size, our text size, larger for our sheet number. So when we select this, you'll notice that they give us basically just one tag label, which is tag number 1. But we can go ahead and we can edit that, and as you can see, by default it's a 1/4 inch text size, and we can duplicate that. We can rename this if you want to give it another name, or we can simply leave it as tag number 2, and let's increase the scale. We'll go ahead and call it as a 3/4 inch text. We will go ahead and say OK. We will align the horizontal alignment to be centered, and we will go ahead and say OK. So now we have created, and we can reposition this wherever you want it. We've created now a label that's going to give us our sheet number information. So if we go through here again, and we'll do one more, and this one we'll call sheet name. We'll add it to here, and we'll say OK. And this one we can do the same thing. We can stretch this out a little bit, so if our sheet name becomes bigger than that, then it will go down to the next line. So what we have now is, as you can see up here, it's basically called Family 3. I haven't renamed it yet, but we're going to go ahead and load it into a project anyway. So I'll go ahead and say load into project. So we have a project opened in the background. We are on our sheet numbers. So as you can see here, we now have an information. I can select this, I can change this to be whatever naming sequence I want, or numbering sequence, as well as whatever name. So we'll call it floor plan.